So I've mentioned in other videos, I'm lucky enough to work with a lot of different gel blaster sellers, and if they have returned items that are broken or sometimes damaged, they'll go ahead and they'll send those to me, and that gives me the ability to fix them in some cases, in many cases, but in some cases they're not fixable. Something's fried, something's just not working out, maybe I just can't figure it out. I'm by far no expert. I know a lot about fixing these, but I'm definitely not an expert, especially when it's some that I'm not as familiar with. So this was started, as a honey badger. That's where some of these parts came from. The H015 honey badger, kind of the popular honey badger. And it came from ZHENDUOTOYS. So check out ZHENDUOTOYS, lots of cool blasters there. Of course, they ship a lot from the US. So those come to you really fast. In fact, the honey badger's one you can get, so you'll get that well in under a week. And then they still have a lot that ships from China. So just be aware of that because they just take a little longer shipping time. But great seller, been around a long time. So ZHENDUOTOYS. Anyway, this honey badger came to me. It wasn't working properly. I was messing with it, and I wasn't able to get it to work. So I wanted to go ahead and use those parts to build something cool, because you still got some cool usable parts on it, right? And I thought, let's go ahead and work with M4a1s. I've got those gearboxes around. For me, they're very easy to work on. They're very easy to upgrade. And we can make a really cool blaster with those parts. So that's what I'm doing right here. Okay, so I'm incorporating the honey badger handguard and the honey badger stock. So in order to do that, I printed a piece that fits inside here, right? And then that allows this to turn on to the M4a1 receiver like the factory barrel does. And then of course, once this is down, this will be pretty much flush, close enough, which is what we're looking for. I do have a small kind of low profile riser that'll go on here too, just because I like using accessories. So we'll go ahead and do that. Down here went with a grip, and I let it kind of angle forward on purpose because it's not, that far out. So I thought it was a little, just a different thing to try, right? Let it angle out like that. These are just little M-lock plates that were added in there. And actually in the honey badger, this long kind of fake suppressor is threaded and screws in down there inside the handguard. So of course I just continued that there, but printed this kind of decorative sleeve that'll get, really just glued on there once everything is set. So that wasn't a tremendous amount of work, really. We were just printing that piece, that receiver piece in here. And actually there is a little threaded Allen bolt like right inside this handguard. So you can I can just use that to tighten it up, and then it'll be on there nice and tight. And then if you want to remove it, you just would loosen that and then turn it, and it'll turn right off. The other thing with this one is that you can see here, I had to, well, you can't see because but there was a little bit of sanding I had to do just so that piece would fit perfectly flush over right there. So that's what I wanted it to look like, and that works out pretty good. And again, because there's that little bolt in there, what happens is that piece that I have that turns on, that anchors it, is threaded, connects to the suppressor, and then this piece just slides on, and then you just go ahead and tighten that bolt. So that works out really good. So you can see here, what you would do is you would just go ahead and slide this part off. So if this had been tightened on, that's where the actual notches are and everything, okay? So that's how that works. Now I wanted to reuse the stock too, right? Because this is a cool stock. We haven't seen this before. I haven't seen this on really, as an aftermarket stock either. And you can see it's telescoping, so it should be. Oh, it's hitting the wires. I got to move those wires out of the way. There. All right, so you can see it telescopes nice, right? But because of where these go, I needed to drop it. So I had to kind of customize a little drop stock and then go ahead and put it there. So now when this goes on here, it'll actually be in a spot where you can go ahead and use the the telescoping stock without it hitting things. So if it was up high, it would hit, okay? So that works out good there. And that was just another piece I had to kind of customize and print. And then of course the battery's still going to reside back here. You can see I've already got the harness kind of ready in there because I had to run it through and it's just going to have to get spliced on because otherwise it won't fit through. And this is of course where your battery resides. So if you've watched my honey badger video, I think I've even showed you, it can be a little hard to pull that off, but that's good. And then yeah, here is where the battery will go. All right, so that's a quick kind of rundown of this. It's going to be my M4a1 honey badger conversion. Hopefully you guys like it. Of course, check back for the demo and FPS test. We'll see where it's at. I'll put a upgraded spring in here, possibly upgraded motor, upgraded barrel, possibly metal gears, kind of waiting on some parts to get here so that I can do those. So comments or questions, please post them below. Of course, like, subscribe, share my channel with your friends, and participate in those monthly giveaways. Thanks.